Good morning to everybody. Welcome back to Stretching for All class. So happy to have you, so many of my beautiful students and friends here. So I can see that Bruno has already signed in. So good morning and namaste to you, Bruno. And also Eiji. Hajimemashite, thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming to class. And Paul, good morning. How are you, Paul? Hope you are well. All right, so a few more people are expected. So while they sign into class, can I just say that today it's a Yin Friday. So some people are afraid of the word yoga, so I don't exactly promote this class as a yoga class, but there's a lot of crossover between stretching and yoga, especially when we talk about Yin Yoga. So Yin Yoga is a form of yoga, for those of you who have never taken Yin Yoga. It's mostly like deeper stretches. So the idea is to go into deeper stretches and also hold them for a little longer. But not everybody, is ready to go so deep. So we're gonna do a little bit of a warm up first, and then we're gonna also use some props. So props are usually used in restorative forms of yoga, but I think it's totally fine to use props also in Yin Yoga. It's just that we're gonna hold them for longer. And because my classes are based on safety and going gently into the posture, so it's always just common sense to use a prop to make sure that we don't go too far. So go grab your bolster or big cushion, and also either a blanket or a towel, big towel or a blanket. All right. In the meantime, let me just make sure that my sound levels, yesterday I was told that my levels were a little low, so I just want to make sure also that I'm a video producer, so I'm very picky about the quality of my sound. I've raised the music volume a little bit. I hope that's not... Yes, can you guys hear me fine? Alex, buenos dias, good morning to you. And I believe there are more people that are gonna join us. So, all right, without further ado, let's get started. So I'm gonna go back towards my mat. And as I said, we're gonna need a blanket and bolster. Okay, so I have mine ready here. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go for a back opener. And the way we do that, we set up for that, is we grab the towel or the big blanket and we're gonna roll it up into a tube. All right, so this is what it looks like. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but the idea is that we have something that is kind of medium low, nothing too high, because we're going to lie or lay on top of it. And we're going to first chill out. All right, so we're bringing the bolster towards the bottom of our mat and this rolled up towel or blanket, and we're going to find exactly the space under your shoulder blades. So this is pretty much like a very restorative kind of stretch. The purpose of the bolster underneath our calves is just to elevate and to release the back a little bit. Many of us have tight backs, and having this rolled up blanket is helping us open up the chest. Make sure that it's exactly below the shoulder blades and not on the shoulder blades, because the effect is very different. So close your eyes if you haven't done so. Start breathing with me. Deep inhale through the nose. Chest, rib cage, belly expands, sides of the body, even the lower back expands. Exhale through the nose, belly, rib cage, and chest. Relaxing the shoulders towards the floor, relaxing your elbows. Make sure that the back of your neck, the back of your head is well grounded, well planted. If for whatever reason your neck is not comfortable like this and you feel like you need to make an effort to sustain this posture, maybe you need to roll up the blanket a little bit less high so that your back of the head can rest properly. That's very important for your cervical integrity. Continue breathing like this. 3-part breath. Chest, rib cage, belly expands. Exhale, belly, rib cage, and chest. Can you let go of everything? Just focus on the sensations of the breath, the sensations of your body. This is like a body scan. So it's really good to start our morning stretches with something under our backs, because if you think about it, we often don't arch our backs backwards. We're always rounding forward when we're on our phone, when we're on a computer, when we're eating, every time that we're on a chair, we tend to round our backs, round our shoulders forward. This is the counter action. We're actually doing the reverse, the opposite. We're opening up the chest, opening up the heart, and we can breathe better. And even now, science, confirms that when we have a broad chest, when our heart is open, when our shoulders are broad like this, we have a better disposition, a better motivation towards the day, towards life. So if you think about it, when we're rounding forward, we are closing our options. We're closing our energy. So let's stay here for a few more breaths, really surrendering to gravity pulling us down. You might hear some clicks and some pops as some of the vertebrae release. Breathing deeply, exhaling completely. Few more breaths like this, noticing the sensations. Deep inhales and complete exhales. All right, beautiful. So bend your knees and use your feet to just push away the bolster away from you. We're going to plant the feet on the floor wide as our mat, all right? And we're gonna do some windshield wipers. So if this is very intense for you, then just remove the prop from underneath, or wiggle yourself into a position that feels a little bit better. So now that we have our knees bent and our feet planted, we're gonna start windshield wiping. That means bringing both knees to one side and then to the other side. So this is one of the best stretches out there because we get a spinal twist, but we also get a muscle massage, the thoracic muscles that run along the spine are being massaged. Make sure that your shoulders are planted, your neck is long, your face is relaxed. Are you breathing? Let's make this a mindful, meditative, breath-led movement. Studying the range, studying how far can you go as we start to warm up the hips, opening and closing the hips. Breathing deeply and exhaling. Few more rounds like this. Breathe deeply. Tuning inwards. Close your eyes if you haven't done so. Beautiful. All right, coming back to neutral. We're going to lift our hips up and we're just going to slowly remove that blanket. Okay, now that we've removed the blanket from underneath us, Bring your knees towards the left. It doesn't really matter which side. And then the rest of your body towards that side and push yourself back up. All right. So we are going to use the bolster now. And we're going to use the bolster for a forward fold. So when I said that we're going to sustain forward fold, sustain positions, it means that we're going to be holding them for more or less about 30 seconds or maybe up to a minute. All right. So come to a cross-legged position. So I'm showing you myself sideways. And we have the bolster here because for many of us, this is going to help us sustain and support the chest and the forehead, because most of us cannot bring the forehead all the way down. So plant your hands in front of you on the floor and slowly start to walk the hands forward. Bring the bolster a little closer to you. And then when you cannot fold anymore, we're going to release the chest and the head on the bolster. If this is still really far away, because not everybody has such open hips, then we can use our arms as pillows for the forehead. Close your eyes, try to relax your sits bones, try to relax your pelvic floor, your belly, and do 360 breaths. Can you breathe towards the sides? Can you breathe towards the back, relaxing your intercostal muscles, the muscles between the ribs? And see how each breath can help you to release and relax a little bit more. Breathing deeply, exhaling completely. And you might also notice that after a little while, it gets a little comfortable. So in that case, maybe you want to bring your elbows a little bit more forward to intensify the stretch in the hips a little bit more. Or even drop the arms completely onto the floor and just bring one side of the head of the face onto the bolster. Wherever you are, play within safety. Make sure you're not going into pain territory. Breathing 360. Can you feel the sides of your body expand with every deep inhale? Can you visualize your ribs expanding, separating with every inhale? Can you breathe towards the top of the spine as well as the bottom of the spine? Relaxing the hips, relaxing your pelvic floor, relaxing your neck, your face. Surrendering. Forward folds are very soothing, very calming. They calm the body, they calm the mind, they calm the nervous system. Tuning inwards, connecting to your higher self. Beautiful. Use your arms to push yourself up. We're just going to change the order of the legs. So whichever leg, whichever ankle was in the back, bring it to the front. Once again, cross-legged seat. Same thing. We fold once again for about a minute or so. Same idea, but you might notice that one side is tighter than the other because it is the case for most of us. Most of us are not symmetrical. Probably nobody is completely symmetrical. But the idea is that we switch over the crossing of the legs to give both hips the same chance. Wherever you are, whether you're really far or not, find a way to release your forehead onto something so you can relax your neck. Breathing completely, inhales and exhales, trying to make your inhales and your exhales equally long. As we tune inwards, we connect to the sensations in our body. We're able to distract the mind by bringing that focus, that attention into the sensations of our body. So whatever is tight, whatever feels good, whatever feels just okay in your body right now, just really focus on that. That's going to calm your mind. That's part of mindfulness meditation. Breathing 360 into your beautiful bellies, sides and back of the body. Expanding the chest, expanding the sides, the rib cage. Sending the breath down, pushing down with the breath into your intestines. We call that diaphragmatic breathing. That pushes down the intestines, massaging them. And then that in turn, the intestines massage down on the pelvic floor, releasing any tension in the first and second chakra areas. Beautiful. Let's start coming out of it once again. All right. This time we are going to extend both legs in a V-shaped. All right. So what are we trying to get here? Yes, back of the leg stretch. We're trying to stretch the back of our legs. For many of us, this is already, quite a stretch. All right, so for those of you who, this is already pretty intense, what we want to focus on is isolating the stretch in the back of the legs. So if that's you, and I believe Bruno, you might be here, and many of us as well, just stay here and once again use the bolster to bring your elbows on it and then relax your head. So this is totally good. If this is your straddle forward fold for today, that is fine. Let's just find that position that allows you to relax a little bit more, especially your shoulders and your neck. Once you start feeling that you've reached your maximum, that this is all very intense, that's where you want to stay. And notice also that after a few breaths, maybe your body has relaxed a little bit into the stretch, and then you can either move the bolster forward a little bit more, and once again bringing forehead onto your fingers, your thumbs or something to keep your shoulders and your neck relaxed. If you're able to fold forward a little bit more, then modify by all means, and then maybe bring the bolster or the cushion flat on the floor, and then bring your elbows onto it. Let's stay here in meditation, flexing your ankles, flexing your toes towards your face, towards your body, isolating the stretch on the back of the legs. So we don't want to round our backs too much, otherwise we're starting to stretch the back, and that's not the purpose. Breathing into our beautiful belly, sides and back of the body. Mindful breaths. We're stretching in meditation or meditative stretching. Can you tune into the sensations in your body? Letting your mind relax of thoughts, projections, ideas, just here and now. Tuning inwards, tuning into your body, tuning into your energy field. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your face. And as I said before, when this starts getting a little easy, start to move that bolster forward, even if it's just a few centimeters or an inch. That's going to bring you back to that more or less 80% intensity. We don't want to go beyond 80%. This is so good for the hamstrings, the calves, the Achilles tendons. And breathe. More cycles of breath here. Make them count. Breathing deeply, equal inhales to exhales. When we breathe deeply, we also tone the vagus nerve that runs along our spine. And when we tone the vagus nerve, we also stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. That is our rest, recover, digest, heal part of the nervous system. It's our friend. We always want to be in touch with our parasympathetic nervous system. All right, enough theories. Bring your hands down and push yourself up. All right, so we're gonna go for one of my all-time favorites, and this is in yoga called Pigeon. And because this is not a yoga class, many of you might not know, and many of you might find that this is very intense, but this is one of the most complete stretches. All right, so I'm gonna slowly walk you through how to get into Pigeon. So from here, from this straddle, we're gonna start bending the right knee, all right? And bringing the sole of the foot towards the left side of the mat. Now, bring your hands forward and start to bring the left leg backwards. And it starts to look like this. And you are gonna say, oh my goodness, this is intense, because it is one of the best hip flexor stretches. So what's happening right now is it's probably very tough and unbearable for many of you. So what we're gonna do is this blanket that is still nicely rolled up, we're going to bring it and slide it underneath your right hip, your sits bones, underneath the right sits bones, all right? So you're kind of sitting on that blanket or that rolled up prop, and that's gonna help you sustain that hip opening, but make sure that your back leg is relaxed. We're trying to get a hip flexor stretch on the left side. All right, so now we're gonna tent our fingers, really open up the chest, lengthen the neck. Look at the screen if you don't know what I'm talking about. And then start to walk your hands a little bit closer to you as you continue to lift up the chest. We call this proud pigeon. Doesn't matter what the name is, just make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears, your neck is long, your spine is long, and you are feeling a very nice and deep stretch on your left psoas muscle and hip flexor. That means all of this part, the quadriceps on the left side. Let's breathe in together as a class. Can you release your hips down to the floor a little bit more with every breath? Grabbing the bolster. Yes, we're using everything today. Bring the bolster, the cushion towards you. Look at the screen if you don't know what I'm talking about. And slowly, we're gonna start bringing the rib cage, the chest, and then the face onto the bolster. If you think you need some support, so the same as the forward fold we did before, we want to ease into these stretches. If you are already very bendy and flexy, maybe you don't need that bolster, and maybe you can already bring your forehead onto the floor, maybe on the backs of your hands, or maybe directly forehead on the floor. If you have a belly like I do, then maybe you want to squeeze and work that belly inside the space between the crease, the knee crease. And then maybe bring your elbows onto the floor and do a namaste prayer towards the back. This is, of course, totally optional. The idea is to get a deep hip flexor stretch on the left side and a deep hamstring stretch on the right side, a hip opener as well. All right, let's stay here for a few more cycles of breath. Can you release all tension? Can you release all effort? Relax your body, relax your belly, relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your pelvic floor. Breathe deeply into your diaphragm, diaphragmatic breathing. 360 breath. Beautiful. Use your hands to push yourself up. Remove the blanket from underneath your right hip if you were using it. We're going to reverse that motion. So we're bringing the left leg around and forward. And now we're going to straighten the right leg and do the reverse thing. So we're working towards pigeon on the other side. We're going to start bending the left knee, bringing the sole of the foot towards the right side of the mat as we start to bring the right leg backwards. So that we start to square our hips towards the floor, and we bring that rolled up blanket and place it under your left hip for support if you think you need it. And we go for that proud pigeon. Try to straighten your right leg as much as possible. Squaring the hips to the floor gives us the best hip flexor stretch. So as muscle stretch, push down with your hands. Lift up your neck, open up the chest, broaden the shoulders away from each other. Feel that proud chest. And then slowly start to fold forward, possibly using that bolster, that cushion, as a way to ease into that forward fold. Or not, if you're super bendy, you can go without that bolster. Wherever you are, can you release and relax all effort? Can you release your hips? Can you release all muscle contractions? And just surrender to the pose. Breathing into your bellies, the sides, the back of the body. Equal inhales to exhales. Face is relaxed. The mind is clear, just focusing on the sensations in the body. Mindfulness meditation. Tuning inwards, connecting to your higher self. Connecting to that peaceful, restful, joyful sensation that resides inside of you at all times. We just need to tap into it. Few more breaths here. So we're going to start coming out of it. So release that towel or prop that was underneath your hip as you push yourself up. And then bring the weight onto the left hip and swing the right leg around. All right. we are coming to the end of the class. And I just want to remind you that these very simple stretches are so good for us. And as you can see, they're not very effortful. We just need to know how to get into them properly, safely. All right, so namaste to you all. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. So Bruno, thank you. And Eiji-san, thank you for joining me. And Paul and Alex. And I believe there's many more people who didn't sign in. I think I know who they are, but anyway, if they didn't sign in, it's for a reason. So namaste to you all. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful weekend. I shall see you. I shall have you in class, hopefully on Monday. I am back. Monday is restorative yoga. So it's like what we did today, but maybe a little bit less deep and maybe not held as long. So there's more stretches, held a little bit less, all right? So it's restorative Mondays, meditation Tuesdays, chair Thursdays, and yin Fridays. That is on the menu. And then at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's vinyasa yoga. So if you missed my vinyasa yoga yesterday, you can go into my YouTube channel and check it out there, because I upload my classes. Once I teach this live class, then I post it open for everybody to watch as a class replay. And for those of you who are watching me as a class replay, namaste to you too. Thank you for watching me. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Also, please visit my website, daviditohealing.com. It's right up here, as well as my donation information, Venmo, PayPal. Please donate any amount to help me keep these videos open and free for all of you. All right, have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Paul, thank you, namaste. Have a great weekend, Paul. Let's catch up soon. All right, everybody, have a great, be safe, most of all, be safe. All right, bye.